Look, up in the sky! It's a bird! It's a plane! No, everybody, it's Galio, and he's giving us a heroic entrance into today's episode of Skin Stereotypes! This episode of Skin Stereotypes is brought to you in part by Steve Man, who not only suggested the champion, but also went out of his way to type up an entire mini-script. So Steve Man, props to you and thank you for today's episode. I will say this right now, I did borrow a couple of ideas from him, which I will notify you guys with a little image in the video, and by that I mean I will just put his profile picture somewhere. Now, before we get started, stereotypes do not mean everyone. For the most part, these are my opinions, so take them with a grain of salt, but not too much salt if you find out that your favorite skin has a negative stereotype. Okay? Okay, let's get the show on the road. Classic Galio players, in my opinion, have the most variance in terms of skill that you can't really pin down a stereotype for them. On one hand, you have the guy who has never played Galio a day in his life, or if he did, it was way back in like Season 4, or hell, even like Season 2, before Galio's rework, and then put him down, and then just picked him back up on a whim. But on the other hand, you have Mr. Galio One Trick, who will absolutely, without a doubt, demolish your team, and you, make you hate this game, and probably laugh all the way to rank 1. I don't know, you just get those, there's no in between. You either get trash tier player or god tier player, there's no in between. You'll be forgiven if you mistake Enchanted Galio for Blue Bluff based on a quick glance at the splash art, and I should know, because I am this person. But Enchanted Galio players are painfully average. I'm talking like the 700 games silver for 6 seasons guy. Gets average CS, has an average KDA at the end of the game, average vision score, that average of a player. And, also a 50% win rate. His skill is surprisingly average. So yeah, he's a pretty average boy. But this guy also has the ability to turn a team fight without realizing it, so just be careful for that. So any Hextech skin generally falls under the semi-Warpig, semi-Lucky skin department, and Hextech Galio is, surprise surprise, no different. Let's break it down. Semi-Warpig. This guy will think he's a lot better than he actually is, and will do dumb shit in hopes of getting sick clips that he can showcase on r/League Legends. But he is still pretty good. Semi-Lucky. If you remember what I said about Hextech Poppy in the last episode, I said Hextech Poppy players have incredible amounts of luck, and it does show both skin-wise and gameplay-wise. These guys just seem to get out of the stupidest situations by the skin of their teeth. Hell, half the time they don't even notice the fact they barely made it out of a sticky situation because they were too busy being like, oh god, I'm gonna die. And that still holds somewhat true here. For example, this guy will blindly ult into Baron Pit late game because he has a feeling they're doing Baron, and will somehow steal said Baron. And he will stay alive long enough for his team to show up and just evaporate the enemy team, acting like, yes, I planned this all out because I'm a god. Also, he gets out of the stupidest situation somehow. His dodging skills are incredible because of that. Like, he does this thing, right? He walks in a straight line and dodges every single skill shot. LCS pros, let's go. Take notes, come on. It appears as though Steve Man and I agree that this skin is a Warpig. In the words of the great Steve Man, Warpig. This guy will absolutely use his ulti whenever he can, even if he doesn't hit anything. And I think that fits perfectly with the warlike aesthetic that every single commando skin gives off, and Galio is no different. These people also tend to have that Call of Duty mentality, the one where they think that they can just bum rush the enemy team and kill all 5 of them using every ability and every sum. Except when they do this, they pop everything, including sums, and there's no follow-up whatsoever because said follow-up is nowhere close to them. But it's still going to be your fault. Just keep that in mind, man. You should have been closer to him. That's obviously the logic, He stayed behind while you guys backed when there was no reason for him to stay. But no. You should have waited with him. You should have waited. I don't want to hear it. Shut up.
You aren't a real Galio main if you don't use the Gatekeeper Galio skin and have an unhealthy amount of questionable Galio fan art, a Galio body pillow, and his name tramp stamped onto you. Anyone who doesn't do one of these things is a poser and should be publicly shamed for even being alive. Get it? Get it? Because that subreddit is nothing but examples of people gatekeeping. And this skin right here is called Gatekeeper Galio, and the example. All right, I'm just gonna go. Okay, all jokes aside, Gatekeeper Galios are actually pretty damn good at their champ. They've been maining Galio since well before his rework. They've lived for those wombo combos where all they had to do was flash forward and hold R and let his team do the work. But now, even with the rework, and even though his ult is no longer however long of a taunt it was, he'll still be carrying your sorry pathetic ass to victory. The furthest his BM will go is emote spam after a kill or a gank. And in some ways, this skin makes a lot of sense. If you're not a good Galio player, you don't use Gatekeeper. If you're a god Galio player, you use Gatekeeper. Also, they're a little bit edgy, so just be ready for that.
While Steve Mann may call this skin a meme skin, I feel like it's more something along the lines of, hi, I think I'm better than everyone because I'm rich as hell. So think about the people who can just use money to solve all their problems. Mommy and daddy probably pay for everything. They probably even have their credit card. They've got expensive cars out the ass that they crash every other week, but they get another because of mommy and daddy's credit cards. So this person has that whole skins get wins idea and buys pretty much every single skin they can, but just can't seem to figure out why they're not climbing. And they realize that you don't have to spend real money. So instead of just buying skins left and right, they just buy items in the game. And you know, they still get stomped. Are they gonna elo boost? Maybe. You just gotta wait and see.
And to round out the pack, Steve Mann and I agree that this is Galio's meme skin. They're probably gonna say some dumb shit in chat like, get cock blocked, why, that was an excellent gank, and get clucked, and any other chicken puns that they can think of. And just to add salt to the wound, once he's done feeding his ass off, like KFC is having an all-you-can-eat, going out of business forever, no BS buffet, you'll still lose. Why? Because his team will carry him to the finish line. Actually, no, they're not carrying him. They're going to be dragging his lifeless corpse across the finish line. And then you'll have the pleasure of watching your Nexus go kablooey while he dances as if it was all planned from the start. That's if he hasn't died again before the Nexus explodes.
And just as quickly as Galio entered the scene, he's off to go dive bomb another team and win another fight. I hope you all enjoyed. I do apologize for the lateness of this video. I got caught up in some schoolwork and I was also on spring break, so that really didn't help at all. Cause you know, it's like, oh hey, it's a break. I'm gonna take a break from things. YouTube was one of them. But I'm slowly getting back on the saddle, so videos will be coming out on a weekly basis. If not, I will let you guys know. If you enjoyed, however, make sure you drop a juicy like and subscription down below if you do feel so inclined. If you have a champion you want me to stereotype, you can leave your suggestion in the comment section below. The next champion we're going to have fun with is Talon. Thank you to King Crypto for that one. And you know what? While I'm at it, I guess I'll promote my Twitter, which you can follow over at L2KYT for updates about videos and other random junk tweets that I'm probably going to have. But folks, that's going to do it for me today. My name is Legion2K. I want to thank you all so much for stopping by, and I'm signing off.